The Golden Goose from 50 Famous Fairy Tales. There was once a man who had 3 sons, the youngest of whom was named Dunscap because he was so foolish. One day the eldest son wished to go into the forest to chop wood. Before he went, his mother gave him a fine large cake and a bottle of wine to take with him. Just at the edge of the forest, the eldest son met an old man who bade him good day and said, "Give me a piece of your fine large pancake and a sip of your wine, for I am very hungry and thirsty." But the greedy youth would not give him a bite, saying, "If I give you my cake and wine, I shall have nothing left for myself. No, indeed, be off with you." He left the man there and went on. He began to chop a tree, but had not made many strokes before he missed his aim, and the axe cut his arm so deeply he was forced to go home and have it bound up. So then the second son went into the forest, and his mother gave him, just as she'd given the eldest, the finest cake and a bottle of wine. The same little man met him and asked for a piece of cake. The second son likewise refused and said, "I've scarcely enough with yourself. Go take yourself off." So saying, he left the old man and went on, but he had made only 2 strokes at the tree when he cut his leg and was obliged to return home. Then Dunscap asked his father to let him go and chop wood. His father said, "No, if your clever brothers have hurt themselves chopping wood, you would likely kill yourself." But Dunscap begged and begged, and at last his father consented. His mother gave him a crust of bread and a bottle of sour beer, thinking that the stupid boy would not know the difference. As he entered the forest, the same old man said, "Give me a piece of your cake and a drink from your bottle. I am hungry and thirsty." Dunscamp answered, "I have only a hard crust and a bottle of sour beer, but if they will suit you, let us eat." They sat down, and as soon as Dunscap touched his bread, it changed into a fine cake, and the sour beer became wine. The two ate and drank, and when they had finished, the little man said, "Because you have such a good heart and have willingly shared what you have, I shall make you lucky. There stands an old tree. Cut it down, and you will find something at the roots." Then the little man left. Dunscap went directly to the tree and cut it down. When it fell, there came among the roots sat a goose with feathers of pure gold. Dunscap picked it up and carried it to an inn where he intended to stay for the night, for he decided to go into the world and seek his fortune. The landlord of this inn had 3 daughters, who, as soon as they saw the goose, were simply bursting with eagerness to have one of its feathers. The eldest girl watched for an opportunity to steal one. When Dunscap had gone to bed, she crept up behind the goose and took a hold of its wings. But the minute she touched it, it struck hard and fast and could not pull away. Soon the second daughter came, and seeing her sister struggling to get free, she took hold of her, and the second daughter had scarcely touched the first when she was bound fast. At last the third daughter came. She too wanted to get a feather, but the others exclaimed, keep away, for heaven's sake, keep away." The third sister did not see why she should, and thought the others were just having their share. "Why shouldn't I?" She started to push her 2 sisters aside, and at once struck hard and fast. So they all had to spend the night with the goose. The next morning Dunscap set out with the goose under his arm. Since the girls were stuck to it, he took them along, too. Down the street they went, wiggling and wriggling, but they could not get free, so all 3 of them obliged to trot behind them. In the middle of the field the parson met them. When he saw the girls, he cried out, "For shame, you good-for-nothing girls, running after a man like that." So saying, he took the youngest girl by the hand and tried to pull her away. But as soon as he touched her, he also stuck fast, and was forced to follow the train. In a few minutes, they met a young father who called, "I say, parson, where are you going so quickly? Have you forgotten to christen our son today?" And he grabbed the parson by the sleeve and, of course, was struck fast. Soon, so the 5 tramped on, struggling and screaming, until they had met 2 woodsmen with hatchets in their hands. The young father called out and begged them to come and release him. No sooner had they touched him that they struck fast. So now there were 7, all in a line, following behind Dunscap and the Golden Goose. By and by, Dunscap came to a city where lived a king and his beautiful daughter. Now the king was disturbed because his daughter had never laughed in her whole life. He had made a law that whoever could cause her to laugh would have her as his wife. When Dunscap heard this, he went with the goose and all his train past the balcony where the princess sat. The 3 girls, the parson, the young father, the 2 woodsmen, were all struggling to get free, leaping about in what looked like the silliest sort of dance. As soon as the princess saw these 7 sillies, she began to laugh, and she kept on laughing as if she was never going to stop. Promptly, Dunscap let the 7 sillies go and demanded his bride, but the king was not pleased with the foolish face of his future son-in-law. After a variety of excuses, the king at last said Dunscap must bring him a man who would drink a cellar full of wine before they could marry the princess. Dunscap thought of the little man who would no doubt be able to help him. Going to the forest, he saw a sad-faced fellow sitting on a stump. Dunscap asked what was bothering him. The man answered, "I've had such a thirst that I cannot quench it. Cold water I cannot bear, and a cask of wine I soon find empty. For what a drop of hot to a hot stone." "There, I can help you," said Dunscap. "Come with me, and you will be satisfied." He led the man to the king's cellar. The man drank and drank, and soon he emptied all the wine barrels. Again Dunscap demanded his bride, but the king made a new rule that Dunscap must first find a man who could eat a mountain of bread. Dunscap again set off into the forest, and in the same spot before found a man fastening his belt tightly about him. "I've eaten whole ovenfuls of rolls," said the man, "but what use is that when you're still as hungry as I?" Hearing these words, Dunscap was glad and said, "Get up and come with me. You will eat enough to satisfy you." He led the man to the royal palace where the king had ordered a huge mountain of bread to be baked. The hungry man stood before it and began to eat. He ate and ate and ate, and of course, of that day the whole mountain of bread vanished. Dunscap then, for a third time, demanded his bride, but the king began again to make excuses and desired a ship which should travel on both land and water. "As soon as you return with that, you may have my daughter for your bride." Dunscap went straight into the forest, and there he found a little old man who had shared his bread. When Dunscap told him what he wanted, the old man gave him a ship that could travel on both land and water. "Since I have eaten and drank with you," the little man said, "I'll give you the ship. All this I do because you were generous." As soon as the king saw the ship, he could no longer keep his daughter, and the wedding was celebrated. After the king's death, Dunscap inherited the kingdom and lived a long and contented life with his bride.